What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 156, and we start today's episode off with a game against St Etienne here back in Ligue 1. Of course, in the last episode and in our last game, we took on West Bromwich Albion for the second time, obviously in our Champions League quarter-final game, and we won once again. So twice we faced our old team, and now we've beaten them twice as well. And of course, that was played on Wednesday night, and this game being played on the Saturday, coming back into the league business. As you saw by my team, and you'll see right now, it was a very strong team, and despite a lot of players being, I wouldn't say unfit per se, but not fully fit for this game, I still went with a strong team. Only 2 changes made from the side to beat West Brom in midweek, and I know that whenever I do have players that are on light green to yellow stamina, I usually rest them, because my philosophy is it's better to have a fully fit squad out there as opposed to playing starters who may be a little bit tired because there's a chance they might get injured, pull their hammies, obviously just not be out the races naturally because they don't have enough energy. But in this game, you know, against St Etienne, the first team to beat us so far since joining PSG. They beat us. They were the first time to beat us with PSG since joining. You know, coming into this game, they're sitting in 5th place, having a relatively decent season. I couldn't afford to use my backup players in this game for the obvious reason that the league is the most important thing according to the board. Now, obviously, in our progress in the Champions League, now into the semi-finals even, you know, I would like to go ahead and do as well as possible in the Champions League. But because the board, I've mentioned this a few times now, but a reminder, because the board have only given us one objective since joining PSG, which is win the league, you just have to focus on it. Even if the Champions League is my main objective, you know, I still have to worry more about the league, because if we don't match the league objective, then we're probably going to get the sack. So that's why I did go against my usual philosophy and started a very strong team. But this was a frustrating game because nothing really happened, and the clear-cut chances that we had weren't falling to the right players, and when they were, like Niang right there, I couldn't seem to put the ball on target. I had a lot of attempts, but a lot of them fell off target, and the goalkeeper for St Etienne wasn't really worried. And the final chance of this game fell 2 minutes before the end, and I was debating not to show this because it was so embarrassing, but I completely messed up with Higuain going forward one-on-one, tried to round the goalkeeper as per usual, messed it up, and his back heel went into the side netting, and the game finished goalless. And it's not a terrible result. St Etienne sitting in 5th, relatively decent side. Again, they were the first team to beat us since joining PSG. But it's still not good enough. We were at home. We've been on a good run of form. We got to win those games, man. Seriously, especially because Marseille won again, and now they're back to top of the table, so our lead at the top has only lasted a couple of weeks. It's just getting really frustrating for me right now because I'm just not pulling away from Marseille. And, I've mentioned a few times before, I know that Marseille are a very decent side, don't get me wrong, but to be honest, with our team, if we get in front in terms of points accumulated in the league, we can't let Marseille get back into the race, but that's what we're doing. They're not slipping up, and again, they've retaken first place, so it's just not good enough for me, really. And again, I do put a bit of it down to the fact my team weren't fully fit for the game, but for the most part, I just did not play well in that one, and that's why I didn't even bother really commentating over the first couple of highlights, because it just wasn't good enough. And had Lloris not made a big save in that game early on in the second half, we may have gone on to lose the game. But still, following out, take on Lyon here for the second and final game of today's episode here. Now, taking on Lyon, this game was being played in the Coupe Nationale. This was the semi-final game, and look at my team. 11 changes from the side that just drew St Etienne on the weekend. Why? Even though it's a winnable competition, why did I make 11 changes? Again, it's not in our objectives, so we don't need to worry about it. And even though I would like to win a domestic cup here in France, if it's not in our objectives, there's no point wasting the players' energy. So coming into this game, wasn't really bothered what happened, but Zlatan almost gave us the lead in the 28th minute there, his shot going just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. And just a couple minutes after the restart here, a great chance to make it 1-0. Ibrahimovic going forward and shooting, and this time he does get his attempt on target, but it's well saved by the goalkeeper and turned behind for a corner. And in the 60th minute, we did have a corner here, which David Luiz went for. It missed everyone. Herbrand struck it, and it was blocked on the line and turned behind for yet another corner, which Pastore struck. He crossed it in, David Luiz won the header, and Tom Heaton turns it over the bar. So still Lyon 0, PSG in this game, just after an hour's worth of football. And again, another corner for us, which Pastore Pastore crosses in again. David Luiz the target. It's cleared away by Leon, and unfortunately for us, David Luiz stays down and gets himself an injury. He would stay on the pitch for a while, but unfortunately for us, his injury is going to be a long-term sort of lasting one, if you will, and he'll be out for, I think it's 3 weeks, or probably even, I think it's actually a week thinking about it, but still, he's still at the end of the episode regardless. But in the 67th minute here, Brand goes down the right-hand side. Really good chance for us as he skips around Kone really easily, cuts it into Johan Kabay. The former Newcastle man beats his man with the fake shot and shoots, and again, it's Tom Heaton to the rescue for Leon there, turning it behind and keeping it at 0-0. And in the 73rd minute here, Leon take a quick free kick, and I give the ball away to Pastore. It comes to Grenier into Yatara, and his strike goes wide and behind. So a lot of chances in this game, but still goalless, and it was indeed how the game would finish after 90 minutes as well. As Areola kicks the ball forward here, and the referee blows for full time. So goalless draw in this game, just like the one against St Etienne, but of course this is being played in the Cup. It would mean we were going to extra time here in the semi-finals of the Coupe Nationale, and it's not really what we need with players beginning to tire, but regardless, I wasn't too bothered. At least we were still in the game. And 3 minutes after the extra time started here, Ibra gets played forward as Kone misses the ball. You cannot do that with Ibra around. He goes through one-on-one, fake shots around the goalkeeper, and he says to Higuain, see, this is why Docs prefers playing me, because quite frankly, you can't score those skill shots. That back heel in the last game, you put wide, but this time I'm going to round the goalkeeper like you couldn't, and I'm going to skill shot the ball into the back of the net like you couldn't. And that is a very nice goal. Quick little fake shot there, and as you'll see, he's looking the other way and just pokes the ball into the open goal. Yes, it's a simple goal, I know, but regardless, still look pretty cheeky with the skill shot, and it is 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain. Just had to be Zlatan, didn't it? Just had to be Zlatan, retiring at the end of the year. Really sad about that, but he's still coming up big when we need him. Still 1-0 to PSG, and just after the restart in the second half, extra time here, Chantôme off the bench plays it through towards Ongenda, who strikes it, and it goes just wide and behind. So that would have been the goal that could have sealed us the game and put us through to the Coupe Nationale final. Unfortunately for us, the shot did go wide, and from the goal kick, Tom Heaton eventually will launch the ball forward here for Leon as the number 12 stands over the goal kick for ages before playing it forward towards Umtiti, who flicks it on towards Balouli. Balouli's on the ball, flicks it forward towards Yatara. Really good chance here as Leon keep holding the ball. Fofana collects it, slides it over the top, and well, I don't know sometimes, I really don't, because as you can see, it's a goal for Leon. Balouli scores it, and with Marquinhos, why does he start here and why does he go forward? I just don't know. I'm hammering down circle, you can see that, because he tries to head the ball away after he lets it bounce over his shoulder, but why does he let it go over his head? There's no need for that. Just head it away. You're a strong, commanding centre-back. Do your job. But unfortunately for me, I guess it's just my fault. Maybe I mistimed it or something, and unfortunately for me, it did run into Balouli, and he had a simple finish. So Leon leveled it, and that does mean the game will go to penalties, because that was the last piece of action in extra time. So really frustrated about that, because that was just a simple goal for Leon to score, which, you know, on another day, Marquinhos, you know, 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, really, Marquinhos would head that away. Instead, for some reason, he let it jump over his head, and that is why Leon scored. So still, final score 1-1. We did go to a penalty shootout. Now my record from penalties is really decent. I've only lost once so far in this series, or actually thinking about it, maybe twice. I'm trying to think. It might actually be once or twice anyway. I've had a few, but I've won the majority. That's the main thing. So coming into this game against Leon in the penalty shootout, I definitely fancy my chances, and the first penalty will be taken by the home side. Grenier against Alphonse Areola. Grenier stands up and smashes it down the middle as Areola goes to his left hand side. So 1-0 to Leon. Zlatan would then stand up and take our first penalty, and despite Heaton diving the wrong way, Zlatan gets the better of him and he makes it 1-1. Then it's Balouli who scored in extra time to take us to the shootout, who ends up chipping the ball straight at Areola, who makes a simple save, and Areola gives David Luiz the chance to give us the lead in this penalty shootout if he scores, and he does. The Brazilian, who stayed on the pitch despite his injury, smashes it in and makes it 2-1. So we take the lead in the penalty shootout. Then it's the time for Adnan to stand up for Leon. Can he score? Yes, just Areola dives the right way, but he can't keep it out. So 2-2 here. But as Yurchenko takes our penalty in hand, he smashes it in as Heaton is rooted to the spot. So 3-2. Then it is Areola against Berg here. Will Berg stand up and score? Yes, he will. He goes down the middle, and Areola dives to his left-hand side. So still 3-3 and still tied. But again, we had a penalty in hand, and again we score it. Hebran taking it, and our 100% record continues. Then it's Yatara against Areola. Yatara must score to keep his side in the game, and he does. Sends our goalkeeper the wrong way, but it does mean that if Keita scores this penalty, penalty. We go through to the final, and he does it. Heaton rooted to the spot, and Keita sends us through to the Coupe Nationale final on penalty. So a tough game, really difficult one. We do go through to the final. Again, not too bothered about it, but regardless, it's another trophy which we could possibly win, and even if the board won't be satisfied, it will still be nice to add another piece of silverware to our ever-growing collection. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really do hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, as it is much appreciated and it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.